active. We'll be paying attention to that and keep up with it. I'm Greg Nibbler. Let's just get our roundtable introduced here really quick. To my right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. I'm
Mr.
Ryan.
Cheer.
I'm Cheery Ryan.
Cheery Ryan.
Hey.
And right.
I'm Holly.
Hi, Ollie. And on the end.
What are we going to do with you, man? I'm Caleb Denison.
Caleb Denison. All right, let's talk about the first thing here that we're going to talk about right out of the gate is just all of the news that has been coming out lately about autonomous cars, in particular Uber, and we've got more announcements today about Waymo, which is Google's offshoot for autonomous cars that may be teaming up with Honda, and just where this might be going in 2017, because I think the trend we've kind of seen is that this is, it's going to happen. Whether anybody likes it or not, it's going to happen. And Uber just got in trouble, which Uber does, and they decided to just start testing their cars in San Francisco. And I don't know if a lot of people saw this last week, but one of their cars got busted running a red light, one of the autonomous cars, and filmed by a taxi driver who happened to have a dash cam going. And this kind of set off a whole backlash because I guess California, they never informed San Francisco or California they were doing this, that they were testing these cars. We talked about this last week, but that just seems to be how Uber does things. They just keep doing it until somebody catches them and then just, sorry.
And when called out, given a bunch of heat over this thing, Uber, quote, "We don't know what we don't know," end quote.
Yeah. Is that what they actually said?
Ooh, I already went off on them last week. So
yeah.
I'm not going to do so now, but...
Well, I'd say feel free, because this is the new thing, because now they've said that they're going to take them off. They're taking their, 16 cars is what they had, and they're going to take them off the streets and go through the actual permitting process.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like a good idea. Hey, let's follow the law. Right. Idiots. Listen, it's the fact that they feigned ignorance in the first place that really makes me angry. Like, you guys, you're not that stupid. Nobody buys it.
You know what
okay?
really grinds my gears?
They screwed up, and yes, backpedal all of that stuff and go get your permits and prove that your technology isn't going to maybe kill somebody.
Right.
I think that's fair.
I agree with that, especially when you're talking about autonomous vehicles. But devil's advocate on that, if Uber wouldn't have had that go-get-'em attitude and we're just going to do it, Uber wouldn't exist, and we'd still all be taking taxis.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
They were not
Nobody's
allowed in
life
Portland.
was in danger when they decided, let's create an app that helps people get rides places.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, that's not true. There are crazy, murderous people out there.
That's true,
but,
and rapists.
Yeah, and that.
It happens.
Where tech meets real life. That's where we live
But
here.
I'm just saying, Uber is a boon, and we all know that, and they got there by not playing by the rules.
That's just fine, but they're new to the autonomous vehicle game.
Yeah.
And autonomous vehicles are not in jeopardy of going away because of Uber participating or not participating.
Yeah.
We've got so many other people out there already doing it way better than they are. And they're going to progress. Mm-hmm. And be a fast follower. Don't just jump in like an excited kid, and like, oh, I can't swim. Oops. That was just a bad move.
Well, I think one of the main questions that we have here, too, is that we were asking is, would you ride in an autonomous car, just in general? Because they are going to happen.
Not if Uber's operating it.
Not if Uber is.
Not without a Johnny Cab guy riding in front. Exactly. You need a little face or something. Total Recall style.
Well, and that's what I'm looking here in the chat on Facebook, taking a look at what everybody's saying. It looks like there's a lot of no's that wouldn't do it. Joseph says, I wouldn't trust a machine to save my life in a car crash. Caesar just says, let Google do it, which is true. Google is working on it. So they have their offshoot Waymo teaming up with Honda, it sounds like, to do something, put some cars out there. A lot of no's, but then some very hard. Jared says, absolutely.
We should say that all those no's are actually driving for Uber right now.
And I just called them idiots.
A little bias there.
So,
that is true. A
Uber
lot of Uber
drivers, not idiots. The people running the company. Well, you've heard my opinion.
Well, it is interesting because there was a new report that came out today that 20 years from now, AI will have taken over 50% of jobs. And Uber is one of those last sort of jobs that anybody can do. If you have a new enough car, you can do Uber on the side. Like a lot of people do that job. That is the irony here, isn't
it? It's like, Uber, we're going to give a bunch of people jobs.
It's a huge
deal.
deal.
And then take them away.
Yeah, and as soon as possible, we are going to swipe those babies back.
Yeah, that is true. But the thing about the industry's only been there for 2 years. Really.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are you excited about autonomous vehicles?
I am not. I don't want to ride in one, to be honest. I'm more of a stalwart. It just makes me nervous. Part of it is videos like that where the car is running a red light and just sitting there helplessly. I don't know. I don't like not having control or having somebody at the wheel. Because, I mean, I take Uber and Lyft and taxis.
It is arguable. And here's the thing. I just want all the morons in the autonomous vehicles so that they can stop slowing things down, stop wrecking stuff. Like, yeah, exactly. You take a test for getting to drive, but it's not rigorous enough, right?
What would autonomous vehicles have done for the snowpocalypse of Portland 2016?
Probably would have worked, because that's the
probably
whole
would have
point.
helped.
It's not the autonomous vehicles that it's the problem. It's autonomous mixed with people driving. So you get to a certain point where it's all autonomous and it's just going to work.
Oh, you think it'll be better when no one drives?
Yeah, because then all the cars are talking to each other. I mean, this is just, if it works how it's supposed to work, all the cars are talking to each other. They know where they are, and they're just going to work and drive, and you're going to have snow tires on your cars and not people inching and driving when they're not supposed to and sliding everywhere. I think it would have been great if we were at that point in the situation
I'm 100% with that.
like drivers, people, they don't know what they're doing.
It's not going to be fun. It's all the fun.
Well, and the argument against that is the fact that someday, if that is true, your car might slam you into a concrete wall to save a bus.
Right.
Because
that's not if it's all autonomous, because that scenario will never happen.
There will be no wrecks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what you say. I don't think that that's ever possible. I love that they're trying for 0% accidents on the road, but I'm afraid that unless we find a world without weather, unless we create a world where there are no potholes, there are no problems with any roads, that there will never be a time when there aren't wrecks. It doesn't matter who's
but
driving.
The percentage is going to be dropped.
It will be low.
Extremely low.
Yeah, that's true.
We're better off than we are now.
I'm sure.
And the thing is, I think Holly's right. I think once everything is automated, we're getting places faster. But at that point, how different is that? I guess the privacy, really, that's all the autonomous vehicle is giving you is privacy. Otherwise, why don't you just hop on the mass transit bus or train or whatever that's getting everybody everywhere all the time anyway?
Less convenience.
Not just the privacy, but just the autonomy. Anytime, anytime you want to go somewhere. And now they have those new Lux vehicles that they're prototyping where you've got like a really nice stereo system, you've got like food in there, and just like people are... They want to take a trip.
They come out of the dashboard.
Why not?
A little bit of
like the airplane.
A little bit of meatloaf or chicken fried steak.
Are we having chicken or chicken?
I look forward to the day where we do get the iRobot thing like, you are experiencing an auto accident.
I just hope that they have the Demolition Man foam. That's what I'm looking for. Just fills up with foam instantly. That'd be sweet.
You're just sort of like, you're safe though. Uncomfortable,
and nobody
but
dies.
safe.
Exactly.
That's great.
Well, all right. Looks like a lot of people are, still saying no.
It's just no after
You're
no.
not convincing them. There's a few yeses in there.
Isn't it funny
but mostly
how
no's. I'm with the no's.
They're going so hard for this technology in the face of so many people saying, just don't. Please don't.
Yeah. But if it ends up being that, I mean, that's what choice do you have? Because then that's what I mean. I think obviously it's going to happen. Whether people want it to or not, this is going to be the new norm. Just think of how much money Uber drivers, how much money they're going to save, not paying you and just paying the AI, autonomous car.
Where does it stop though? I mean, what's next? Forced colonoscopies? Like, I don't really.
I don't know how
not
to
really
transition
sure how
to that
relates.
Well, no,
I thought we were talking about meatloaf. Now we're going to.
But it is healthy if you're over 40, Caleb.
I understand this. I'm over 40. Believe me, I know. And I'm not. I'm just saying, they're kind of.
What are they going to do? Forced colonoscopies?
More reason not to get an autonomous
car.
Just because it's better for us, just because it's healthier, we're going to say, yeah, sorry, you got to do it.
I have to wonder if people across the pond and other places that are not used to this American dream that was sort of forged by GM and other places, like your car can make you have the freedom. I wonder if places overseas even care.
Yeah.
Like comparatively. Because part of the American dream has always been you can go anywhere you want, like in your own Model T vehicle. And like that was the big thing that they sold. Meanwhile, they were destroying our bus lines and destroying our trains in Los Angeles. They got busted for that.
That's true.
Car companies destroyed.
We got conspiracy dubs today.
That's
we
true,
don't even
though.
need it. Conspiracy.
It's not even a conspiracy. That actually happened. Yeah, you can look it up.
We need to move on to some other topics, but I do have something else here.
No, I want to talk about that.
Cesar in the chat. Question for the studio: with the constant rollout of autonomous cars by Google and Uber, what are your thoughts that even with the dangers of self-driving cars, Tesla is allowed to have the autonomous feature? That's true. Tesla is just the one that kind of skates by, even though they've had their accidents. There was an accident, I think, in Pittsburgh or somewhere in Pennsylvania.
The difference is there's a person behind the wheel controlling that vehicle that can take over at any time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, and it's assistance, right? It's not autonomy.
Yeah.
You can't hop in the, I mean, yes, you could probably hop in the back seat, but
You have
that's
to keep your hands on the wheels, though. If you take it off after a certain
Right.
amount of time, it starts beeping at you. And
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And you're also only allowed to do it on the highway, which wouldn't have had the whole stop
It's basically
sign.
enhanced cruise control.
Right.
You know, it's
Okay.
not like it's making your right turn for you, you know.
I didn't know you had to have your hands on it the whole time.
That's one of the
You have
safe
to, it like
features, yeah.
asks you to tap, or you have to have a finger. There's something to let the car know that you're still in the driver's seat and you're paying
Okay.
attention.
And not asleep.
Seems like, what's the point? I'm trying to watch a movie.
Trying to eat my meatloaf. What are you doing?
Exactly.
While getting my colonoscopy.
Exactly. I just don't know where that comes in.
Still can't figure that part out. All right.
Really not a huge leap.
Let's pass on to our next topic, and we have several things coming up. So stay with us. We've got some talking about iPhone 8, and I do want to hear everybody's thoughts on the iPhone 8 and some of the rumors with that. We've got a phone thief getting caught, our holiday gift guide. But let's talk about something that Caleb actually got to do not very long ago, which is pretty amazing and pretty exclusive. You got to fly to South Korea and tour the LG manufacturing facility and the headquarters, like one of the biggest electronic giants out there.
We saw a tremendous amount of stuff in just 2.5 days of being on the ground there in Korea. It was a fast and furious trip, and it was hugely revealing. We started at sort of their idea center. This is where they come up with ideas, and it's just a podcast here. One of our friends stopped into the studio. He gets to do that. But so we flew into South Korea. And promptly headed for, what was the burger joint we went to? It was the craziest thing. All this amazing South Korean food, and then we go to Shake Shack in South Korea.
Rich behind the scenes here was there as well.
Yeah, we were
Wait, you go to Korea and then you go to Shake Shack?
Yeah, that's how it started. And I thought for sure, and we passed a Hooters on the way. And I thought, so much for the whole South Korean experience. But no, it really ended up being a tremendous experience. We went to a place where no cameras, no photography, no videography, no recording of any sort is allowed. And we saw places where they cultivate ideas. Where they bring in the public and try products out on them and sort of watch them interact with the products and learn
that I would
from
want
that.
Do. I would totally sign up for that.
They have an entire smart home built into this business building, and where all the functionality works with the, all the devices interact and work together. Then we went to a couple of research and development areas where they did a lot of testing, where the engineers are actually, putting things together and testing new technologies. Saw a lot of amazing stuff there. Then we went to some assembly line factories and watched cell phones being made. We had to put on clean suits. I'm in a yellow jumpsuit with a hairnet, and we're walking around and watching how all of these phones get put together. And then ultimately, and the best part for me was when we watched OLED TVs and LCD TVs get assembled at the factory. And the way they've mixed man and machine for this process is just genius. Like, there are some things that people need to do that machines shouldn't be doing or can't do. And then there's things that they need the machines to do that the humans can't do. Banish any idea of this being like a sweatshop or hard manual labor. Yes, these people are being diligent about their work,
right.
But they are definitely not working in a sweatshop. They have all kinds of technology there to make the job easier and more accurate, and the production of their stuff more reliable. And it was fantastic. And then, of course, there was the food. We did eventually eat
burgers?
some proper. Yeah, the burgers are just as good over there as they are here. No, we ate some amazing Korean food, some proper Korean barbecue. And we really got to sample a little bit of the culture on top of going out and seeing all this done there.
What I know, and the entire article is up at Digital Trends as well. What was the one thing that you were most surprised about seeing the factory? Was there any one thing that stood out?
I think I was really surprised to see, considering how hard it is to make an OLED TV panel, how quick and easy it is to assemble an OLED television itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done in minutes, and they're just cranking them out. And they have very set schedules. It's like, we're going to make 352 TVs today, and then in 2.5 weeks, we're going to make another 405.
They have it down to a science
They
like that
have
much.
it down to a science.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think the most amazing thing about South Korea in general is how dense the population is and how they've built up. Like there's 10 million people there. It puts New York City to shame. Just one of their corporate living pods is made up of like 7 or 8, 20 to 25 story high-rise buildings. It's all apartments, and there's tons of them. It's an absolutely amazing place to go. And then of course there's Psy, Gangnam Style. We got a little bit of that too.
Did you meet
In
him?
fact, yeah. Well, in a manner of speaking, I kind of became him for a minute.
If
You don't get to see the
they have
dancing part.
statues to Psy.
Oh, they have a monument to him in the Gangnam district, which is where we happen to be staying.
Is there a video of you doing the Gangnam Style?
No, but there are photos of our editor-in-chief and the VP of sales and marketing at LG doing a little bit of the Gangnam thing.
That's awesome. So the whole thing is at digitaltrends.com, where you can watch the entire video of all the behind the scenes and everything that they got to do and read the whole article. It's fantastic. I highly suggest that. But speaking of OLEDs, that does bring up something new with the iPhone 8. Every week there is something new about this phone, and we're still probably a year at least away from maybe this thing coming
We
out.
love
Not
us an
even.
iPhone
Maybe. You
You
rumor
gotta have
mill.
the 7S, right?
Right, yeah, the 7S,
Yeah.
and then the 8. But there's constant stuff about it, and now, one of the big things that's probably true is that they were going to go with an OLED screen for the iPhone 8.
Although, to be fair, they've been talking about that since the iPhone 5.
Right, and so yeah, who knows? And that's a lot of it. I mean, so far it seems just they're just taking things away, like the headphone jack. Okay, how do people feel about the headphone jack? Just put your comment in there if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Let us know.
I'm going to predict the response is like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you think people are
No,
are cool?
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
It only bothers me like every once in a while. I'm like, hey, no.
Which should never happen with a new piece of technology. You
Otherwise,
should
I have
never
like
take
the
things
dongle
away.
with me in my wallet. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
So
Well, now there's talk that there's the OLED screens. There may be a shortage of them, so that they can't even do that. Samsung's having a hard time cranking them out, and I guess they're trying to look for an alternative supply, but it doesn't sound like there's a lot out there. So they may have to skip even that. So what are they going to do to make this thing, stand out?
We'll bring the headphone jack back.
Bring the headphone
That
jack
was
back.
the whole point.
Here's our retro. We're bringing it back.
more
You don't know
force
what you
touch
got till it's
features.
gone, baby.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually, there are a lot of people that don't miss it that are
Yeah.
chiming in here into the chat. Tim says, no jack, no problem. Don't miss it. From Raphael. Carlos, doesn't bother me at all. Parker does miss it. So, yeah. I mean, I'm an Android person, so far I haven't been affected by this. I know it's coming to me soon. I bet they're going to be doing it, and I won't be happy. No, I'm not going to be happy with it.
No, I mean, look, a lot of people have wireless headphones now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it doesn't present a problem on the daily to a lot of different types of people. But I'm telling you right now, if you're a business traveler and you do a lot of you have to charge your phone, but you also want to take a hands-free call, and you
Right.
don't have the AirPods or whatever. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt for any audiophile who has like really great headphones that they love using on all of their stuff, including their phone. Now they've got the inconvenience of the dongle, which can break, put extra stress on your phone. I mean, there's downsides, but is it like ruining the world? Nah.
Yeah.
It's just making me hold on to my iPhone 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly where I'm at.
Not going to buy a new
I'm not
iPhone
So
for a
what
while.
what would make you buy an iPhone 8? What would they have to have on it?
Headphone jack.
It would actually,
Honestly.
yeah. That's
it.
what's going to keep me from jumping
Yeah.
ship to
Yeah.
say the LG V20, which is an amazing
Which I'm
phone
totally-
built around
yeah,
audio.
exactly.
And I'm totally eyeballing that. And I've owned an iPhone for years, since the 3. So yeah, I'm going to jump ship. But I don't. You ask a really great question. What could they possibly do?
Yeah.
To
And
make
I'm-
the next iPhone exciting?
And
Yeah,
I'm curious,
and-
everybody watching too, what would you need to see in this iPhone 8 in order to buy it? Because the
Holly, you
OLED
have a 7 Plus. I mean,
yeah.
you
so
were
I was
actually
gonna
using
say,
the next
for
gen.
me, it was the camera, and that's why I went Plus because.
It's got the better camera, yeah.
Oh my gosh, we took photos today for Instagram, and it was amazing. I had Alexa taking them, who's a photographer, and I didn't even believe it's on our Instagram right now. The pictures of the Snapchat spectacles, what portrait mode can do. So for me, it was the camera. If they can upgrade that,
Yeah, that's where it's
I
at.
don't know how much they can, right? Because so the two parts of a digital camera that affect image quality the most are the sensor, which they can keep upping the game there, and then there's the optics, right?
Yeah.
There's not really. That's why they have to fake the background blurring. It's not a true that comes from having a long lens, being far away from your subject, zooming in on the subject, and everything else
Pretty
goes
nice.
blurry.
Yeah.
It's
good.
It's awesome. It looks great. I'm not denying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that I don't know how much further they can take the camera in the phone, because you're going to run out of sensor potential, right?
Yeah.
I mean, once you're gathering that data, and a lot of it, more megapixels, bigger prints, whatever, that you have to rely on the optics. That's really the big difference still with DSLR cameras versus the camera phone, or the camera in the phone. I don't know that they can take the camera much further. OLED screen would have helped it get a little bit thinner.
Yeah, but that's
A
that
little
would
bit
be
thinner,
cool.
maybe, and it'll have better contrast. But it's like, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies on my phone. It'll
Yeah.
look cool.
Well, look at
but
Samsung and LG using OLED in their phones now.
They've been doing that for a long time.
It's not new.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not amazingly better than the iPhone. So how does the iPhone get substantially better just off an OLED screen?
Yeah, and frankly, the new MacBooks didn't impress me very much. I don't know if that means I'm going to move next laptop I buy away, but when you start thinking about just your whole system, how it all works together, that's one of the big reasons to stay with Apple. If you like Mac, it really works well with your iPhone. But if if you start getting turned off by both products, then there's not much reason to stick around. There's plenty of other game.
Couple of quick notes here in the chat I'm looking at this is on Facebook. Tony says media types seem to be the majority of whiners about the jack build a bridge guys.
Well, audio media guys especially.
Caesar says that they added a removable memory. That would be nice since all Androids already do. Yeah, I'm sure would be a nice thing.
Media guys, I mean, that's a really fair point. I'll totally grant that. And the fact of the matter is, I use this stuff way more than you do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Way more than you do. I rely on it. It's for my job.
Yep.
So it's a problem for me, and I'm going to whine about it. But I also conceded, the fact that it's not a big problem for everybody.
Right.
And so, I mean, but did the iPhone get substantially thinner because they took out the jack?
No.
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 Especially when you throw
What
these
was the
giant
advantage?
cases on it.
What was the advantage?
Right.
Look at the real motivation. We're selling AirPods instead of throwing free earbuds into the phone.
Yep.
There's you're going to lose them. So now we have all kinds of upgrade costs. Now you got to buy a dongle,
Right.
And if you want to talk about the real benefit, it's all the other manufacturers that are now going ape, making crazy amounts of wireless in-ears.
They opened a
That
new
is the
market
new
out.
thing. It's an economic push.
I mean, it's a brilliant move on their part.
Yeah, it's great for other companies, but if you're not a manufacturer, I'm not really sure where the benefit comes in.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to keep on whining for you.
Okay. We got. Don't
getting-
worry about that.
I'm
That's
getting
gonna-
paid to do that.
All right. Well, there's definitely some other comments on there, but keep those coming. We'll get to those. Moving on. Actually, before we go too far, I just wanted to show a video because I think this is the greatest thing I've seen today. We all hate thieves, right? So I've had a phone stolen. I've had somebody stealing stuff from my backyard recently. I hate that stuff. Finally, some guy got revenge, and there's a video out there. I believe this was in China, I think, and there was a guy on a bus where there's video of him having his it's kind of pieced together with a bunch of I think
had to show the
surveillance
beginning.
footage. They'll show it at the end here, where he had his phone taken out of his hand, and this guy ran out of the bus and was able to see the dude take off on this scooter, and he must have had to turn around. He hunted the guy down and jumped in the air and jump kicked the guy off of the scooter, getting his phone
It
back.
looked just like Double Dragon.
It was. I mean, it's pretty much it is Double Dragon. That's actually the move. That's perfect. That is a perfect description of it.
What's interesting is that not only does he jump up on the motorcycle
Watch him.
scooter, but I love the different angles, but basically he takes him out with his ass, right? Because he flips around, ass goes into face, and then with his crotch he pulls the rider off of the bike. They need to write that into some movie scripts. That is a sweet move.
It is.
Chan.
It is.
And it was just done spur of the moment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate that guy's moves because who doesn't want to do that? To
I would have gone with the
somebody
clothesline personally.
Yeah, that's
But-
probably would have been a safer. Although
No,
I don't know. I mean, it's not going to look as badass as that.
And the helmet might have hurt. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wasn't wearing
no.
a helmet.
No, that's true. Okay.
I just want to know how he caught up with the motorcycle. If he's driving a truck,
Yeah.
got out of the truck,
Or
got
he was in a
front.
bus. he was in a bus, I think.
Wait, the motorcycle dude was wearing a helmet, wasn't he?
With a motorcycle.
I don't know, but
We're jumping around.
Yeah. Anyway, either way, Double Dragon kicked a phone thief. That's awesome. All right, final thing here, and I do want to hear what everybody has to say about this too, because we have our holiday gift guide that is out right now. It's at digitaltrends.com. How to survive the holidays using tech for whatever kind of situation you're in, and they've got a bunch of different things on there. And I was thinking about this. The one thing in that gift guide that I would recommend everybody get, only because it was gifted to me about a month ago and now I love it probably too much. It's the Echo Dot with Alexa, because I love that thing.
Good luck. It's sold out everywhere.
Is it?
Sorry.
Okay.
If you haven't ordered one, you're probably not getting one for Christmas.
we have a giveaway with one in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Check
perfect.
back.
There's also an alternative now, which we haven't actually tested, but Jam Box, I believe.
It's something.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
makes
are
sense.
other
There are
speakers that have
other
Alexa
spec-
in
That
it.
have Alexa in it.
Yeah.
Well, so the Echo is definitely the one I would recommend. Apparently you can't get it now, but there's a giveaway. You can win in a couple of weeks, or find it from somewhere. I don't know how you get it, but
I'm sorry to squash your dream there.
oh, I already have one. I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm good. Yeah, but I'm curious what other people think. Like, what's the one tech thing that you would recommend people buy for Christmas? Like, what's the one thing that you've had or that you would want to get? I don't know what's yelling in the background there, but what else would you recommend? Caleb, do you have something that you would tell people to buy? Like the one item. Assume it's not sold out, whatever it is.
That's really hard for me. I just
Yeah.
assume everything is gone. It's funny. I bought the least amount of tech gifts ever this year.
Yeah.
I bought my daughter a spirograph.
Wow.
Because I'm going
Some
old school.
Lincoln Logs with those? or-
50th anniversary. You know what? If I can find a Lincoln Log, I will buy it.
They're probably worth money.
But no, you know what? I'm having trouble thinking of a good answer to that because, I have so many gadgets and what have yous. Honestly, I think it would be really cool. If I didn't already have one, I'd be excited to get a cool new turntable. Vinyl is just taken off like crazy.
Yep.
And people love it, and they're really enjoying it right now. And it may be a fad, but it's definitely not a hipster thing because vinyl completely outsold CDs, this year, by a lot.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, digital downloads is where it's at. That's where all the
Sure.
music sales are really happening. But vinyl, is happening.
There's still
So-
something about vinyl, that you can't get.
So
anywhere
yeah, a
else.
really awesome turntable. I think is a fun techish gift, I guess. But yeah, nothing really. I don't need a smartwatch.
Yeah.
I don't need another Blu-ray player. Got one of those.
So you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Tony, who was talking about you guys wanting earlier, said Bluetooth headphones would be a good person.
Yeah, good one, Tony. I like this guy. I like
Tony,
this Tony
come back
character.
every week. And let's see. Yeah, Tim also said, Cesar said 3D printer. That would be kind of fun. Although are 3D printers really to the level where you can actually use it at home? I see a lot of them here.
Based on the pure frustration I witnessed Drew going through on a daily basis around here, I'm going to say don't go with the
Avoid
3D
the 3D
printer.
printer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a great idea, but in practice, making them work, just the resin clogging up or the getting caught up in the spooling process or
Yeah.
whatever. Dude, Drew is like perpetually pissed off in the room next door, like, why won't this work?
We just need a live stream of Drew getting mad at that thing.
Honestly, that's one of the more entertaining things that goes down at this.
And
office.
also, what do you make with those things? It's really not any. I don't know. You
So
can make
far, we've
some
made a lot of
stuff,
like little Buddha figures.
little
Yeah,
totems,
little.
but nothing like that you need.
Right. Holly, anything you'd recommend?
Yeah, actually, I got to play with the Snapchat spectacles for like
Oh,
5
yeah.
hours today. Didn't think I'd want them until they sold out and I couldn't get a pair, and they're awesome.
Yeah?
So cool.
Wait, is that you're trying to think of things that no one ever needs for anything, or no?
And there comes the
they
Grinch.
They sound hokey, but the really cool thing that I like is it takes a video in a circle, so you can change your phone horizontally or vertically. It will change, and it exports as a circle, and you can look and take all these cool, like really cool views. But I don't know, I just really like them. They charge in the case. They remind me of the AirPods. I don't know if they work as sunglasses. I couldn't find any information on like UV ratings or anything like
And
that.
being in the Pacific Northwest, we lack actual sun.
Yeah,
So-
other than they're not polarized, if you have that question. We did like a fun little live video with them earlier on our
they're not
Facebook
polarized, then they
page
don't do
if you want to
much.
check it out. I also thought it was interesting they came out in the middle of winter as
Yeah.
sunglasses, but I think they're super fun. They're interesting if you're looking for a tech gift that's different. in at a younger audience. Those are cool, but they're sold out.
And there's a video of that of you guys trying these on Facebook or
yeah, on Facebook.
Facebook.
So if you're here, you can just scroll down a little bit on Facebook.
Yeah, and find that. All right, I think that's probably about all the time we've got for today. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So we do the show live every Thursday.
Yeah, don't worry. I didn't have anything. So.
Oh, did you have one? I'm sorry. I thought yours was.
Can we go overtime for Ryan?
We can go overtime. Ryan, I apologize.
Good
Ryan,
Lord.
I hand the mic
What
over
do I have
to you.
to do around here?
We'll mute everybody.
No, I don't have.
What is it you want? Do you really not have anything?
No, I do have one very basic idea. If somebody's looking for last minute gifts, is tiles. It's those little chips that you can actually put on stuff, and you can locate them with your phone through an app.
All right, that's cool.
And
Yeah, those are
so
good,
it's kind of
yeah.
cool for like even if you lose your remote a lot, or your keys, or even your phone. If you don't have Find My iPhone, it would work. If
That is a
somebody else
rock
had it.
solid
Actually, that's
suggestion.
great.
I was
do
gonna
that
come.
And it's
all the
cheap
time.
too.
I was gonna come back and say a streaming stick. Or
Yeah.
a
Fire
Chromecast,
stick.
Yeah,
something like
Chromecast
that.
is
I
always
think
a good
that's
one.
an awesome gift. I think a lot of people don't realize that these things are still better than your smart TV right now, and they're
Yep.
not that expensive.
Yep.
And you can take them to the hotel, you can take them anywhere you want, and have your Netflix or whatever. I love streaming sticks. I think they're a lot of fun.
Okay. All right.
There it is.
I'm not cutting anybody off, am I? Everybody's got their.
It's me. I took too much time with my sunglasses.
No, those sunglasses remind me. There's a 30 Rock episode where she's like, "There's a chip in these that actually the lenses turn a different color when my iPhone battery goes bad." that's what the Snapchat spectacles. They're that useful.
Right.
They're fun.
All right.
Oh
That's it
boy,
for today.
I'm old.
Throwing it
If you
all
can't
out
tell,
there.
I'm old.
Send us an email, podcast at digitaltrends.com. Subscribe to the audio version. It's on iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to that. Give us a 5-star review, and because that helps spread the word of the show. Join us every week here live on Facebook and YouTube. Watch all the back episodes there. And, of course, go to digitaltrends.com to see further information about everything we talked about. Right now, we're going to sign off, but before we do, it's an iPhone thief getting kicked.
I'm gonna go find this Tony fellow right now.
I love he braces himself.
Oh, it's so
Yeah, he does.
great.
He
Steals
has
himself.
time to just
Bam. 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 Whoever remixed this is a genius, too.
I think that was Rich, right?
Is it? Yeah. It's great.
Do you see how he takes him
All right,
out with his
that's
ass? I love it.
All right, we're out.
Are we really ever out?
Who knows?